Good day, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Yes, Sarah is on her way. Cheryl may be joining us online, but we're going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to get it started too late. On Wednesdays, what here, Sarah? Hi, come on in. So one thing that I've kind of changed Wednesdays up a little bit. Sorry, just checking her in with this app. So on Mondays, what we're doing is like a regular type of blissful flow. And on Wednesdays, what I've been doing is taking the Ashtanga format for the primary series and then tweaking it or adapting it or just kind of shifting some of the poses around or implementing some that are maybe not typically used with the primary series. Just so that we can have a little bit more movement on pump day. So we're gonna get our blood flowing and we're gonna get rolling. I'm not gonna be as detailed with Dharma talks on Wednesday that I'm doing on Mondays. Like Monday, we were talking about the conclusion of the kosha series, and the koshas are the layers of our being. We went through 5 of those layers, from physical to energetic to mental, to the layer of intuition and higher wisdom, to the bliss body. And then Monday, we focused on the final piece being what we're really trying to connect to, which is the higher self or the soul. So today, we're going to begin standing up. And what we're going to do standing up is we're going to be introduced to something that Paramahansa Yogananda used to do. Paramahansa Yogananda was one of the first pioneers who brought yoga to the Western Hemisphere. He wasn't the first, but he was one of the first. And there's a great documentary out about him called Awake, and it was actually previewed in a couple of our theaters here in Nashville prior pandemic a few years ago. Highly suggested. You can get it on, if you've got like the, whatever all the special stations are, look up that documentary. It's fantastic. But when he used to go around the country, when he used to give his speeches, he used to say, "How are we today?" And the feedback that he wanted to receive is, "I am awake and ready." So we're going to start walking, and you can step off your mat if you want, because sometimes when you're walking on your mat, it starts to punch up. But you're going to start swinging your arms and lifting your knees. And we're going to say this out loud in honor of Yogananda. I am awake and ready. 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 Say it with more conviction. I am awake and ready. 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 3 more. I'm awake and ready. I am awake and ready. I am awake and ready. And then bring your hands over your heart. If you don't feel lightheaded or dizzy, close your eyes. And so one of the goals of yoga and our meditation practice is to awaken and to liberate our minds, our bodies, and our spirit. So I want you to ponder the question right now. As we've entered into spring, as the new moon in Aries just brought in this new universal energy to support us in our actions and our steps forward, what are you awake and ready for? Are you awake and ready for world peace? Are you awake and ready to pursue your goals, your dreams. Are you awake and ready for whatever life throws your way? Are you awake and ready to lead? Are you awake and ready to rise? Are you awake and ready to be a shining example to others? What are you awake and ready for? And then go ahead and begin to open the eyes, step to the front side of your mat, and ground your feet, lining up the toes on one straight plane. Drill the feet down into the floor. Sweep the arms up alongside your ears. Get the landing line down from the hips through the soles of the feet, moving towards the center of the earth, and draw the navel up, your heart up, your hands up, and have your chin parallel to the mat. Your eyes are set straight ahead. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, swan dive forward and down to your first Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Just pause here in the standing forward fold to spill the upper body downward. To maintain the structure of your lower body. Let the feet press firmly to the floor. Let your muscles ignite up through your legs. Let your belly hug in. Let your head fall heavy. They say we hold a lot of tension from our past in the backside of the body. Break some of that up here and imagine that you're shedding that away. So that you are awake and ready to take those strides forward and to leave the past behind. Now let's continue our practice. Inhale, come halfway up. Feel free to slide your hands up the legs, lengthen out through the vertebrae in Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, you're stepping back and lowering down to a low push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And exhale, roll back over your toes to Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is downward facing dog. Let your hands solidify to the ground, shoulder distance apart. Let your fingers spread out. Let your sits bones shine up and your thighs roll back. Deep in the flow of the breath, you can use the Ujjayi Pranayama where you can hear the breath coming and going, or feel free to use the diaphragmatic breath, which is a quieter and calming type of breath. On your next inhalation, land your feet at the top of the mat, come halfway up when you do so. From Ardha Uttanasana, free fall down to full Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do a few more of those. Inhaling. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Inhale, sprout up halfway. Look out with your eyes. Exhale, step it back. Let your arms flip to the side body as you lower and hover. Inhale, balloon the heart up. Exhale, rock and roll over the feet. Returning to your downward facing dog. Holding and breathing. Lengthen out through your limbs. Feel and empty your lungs. And maybe even affirming, I am awake and ready. Inhale, plant the feet at the top of the mat, open up through the heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand tall. And exhale, Samastiti. All right, another A, inhaling. Exhale, fold.
Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, chaturanga. You can always bounce back and skip plank if you want. Inhale to up dog. And exhale to down dog. Gaze back towards that space between the feet or beyond. Setting your gaze helps to focus the mind. It diminishes distractions and helps with pratyahara, which is sensory withdrawal. On your next in-breath, land the feet at the top of the mat and open your heart. Exhale, bow down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're going to do one more A. Inhale, expand, open. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, low push up. However you want to get there. Inhale to the stilt to the arms. And exhaling, inverted V shape with your body. The downward facing dogs in the mix of the Surya Namaskaras are to help us to recenter, to reclaim our breath. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat, looking out with the eyes. And then exhale, drop in. Inhale all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're moving into B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale, sprouting up. Exhale, taking it back and lowering down. Inhale, defy gravity as you open the heart and stretch the spine. And exhale, pull in from the belly to draw back. Inhale, right foot steps through, back heel lowers. We're coming to warrior one. Don't go as fast in the blissful version as the Ashtanga. You would be holding this a millisecond if that was the case. But I want you to really be here and push into the back foot and make the spine vertical over your pelvis. Okay, good. Exhale, hands down, step back, flow through the Vinyasa. Once you return to down dog, left foot will lead next. Back heel drops down. Arms lift alongside the face. You're rotating your back thigh and hip towards the front. From warrior one, we'll exit out, step it back, and take the spinal vinyasa to the B Surya Namaskara. So Surya means sun, Namaskara means salutation. So we're opening up this practice with sun salutations. To warm and to heat the muscles before we hold the poses longer. On your next inhalation, we'll bring it to Ardha Uttanasana at the front. And then exhale, drape back down. Inhale, knees bent, arms lift. Exhale, Samasthiti. Just doing two more of those today. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sprouting up. Exhale, low push up. Into up dog. Out to down dog. Right foot leads to warrior one. Having the experience here first. Then we'll go right back into the flow. Left foot leads next, warrior one, same positioning. Front knee aligns over the ankle, knees facing the center of the foot. Good, exhale, continue through the Vinyasa. Pausing in this third down dog in the mix. And this is where we feed ourselves more breath. Not just oxygen to oxygenate the blood flow, but prana, vital life force energy, so that we can be awake and ready. So affirm mentally, I am awake and ready. Astrologically, this is said to be a big month this year. Inhale, feet together at the top of the mat. You can meditationally walk, lunge, or float. And then release your head and heart. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we got one more in us? Okay. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen out. Exhale, low push up. Inhale and exhale. Right foot leads warrior one. Balancing in between both legs. In other words, you're trying to prohibit yourself from leaning forward, which is an easy thing to do in warrior one. All right, hands down to frame the front foot. Flowing back through. And then left foot next, warrior one. Consider the name of the pose, warrior. Right, a warrior has to be awake and ready. Exhale, hands down. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, take 5 full yogic breaths. Try not to rush them. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana at the top. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, Utkatasana. And then we're going to change up Utkatasana. We're going to build the heart a little higher, lean the head back. See if your palms can join together. If that's too much for your neck or shoulders, you can leave that variation out and you can do the other variation instead. And slowly stand up and let your arms stand off to the sides. All right, we're going to skip the intense forward fold, and instead we're going to step to the right. You guys will be facing the streets. Your right foot is going to rotate to face the back side of your mat. You're going to lunge that knee, drop onto the thigh, and sail the left arm straight above the body. Now push your left thigh bone back, glue down that left foot. Take the top arm now,
across the side of the face. And feel that deeper stretch you just received to the upper body. Stay rolling open through your belly and chest. Inhale, draw it up, straighten the right leg. Float your arms up shoulder height. We're going to triangle pose. Your right foot is still turned to face the back of your mat. Good, once you have that foot in position and your leg is straightened out, lengthen out over that side. Windmill that hand down to the shin. Left arm reaches upward. Triangle pose. Deep belly breaths. Breathe. All right, cast your gaze down towards your right foot. All right, this is where we're changing some things up. Lunge that right knee. Feel free to grab the blocks if you want to use them as you face the back of the room, taking your lunge position. You're on the ball of the back foot, so the back heel actually lifted away from the sticky mat, and that way the left hip rolled around to even out with the right. Good. Inhale, straighten out your right leg. Keep your hips square and even. That's it, nice adjustment, you guys. Exhale, relunge the knee. Good, inhale, re-straighten the leg. Exhale, lunge the knee. Good, inhale, straighten the leg. This time, see if you can lower the upper body and cascade over the right thigh. Squeeze that right hip in a little bit more. And then inhale, straighten your arms and lift your head and your chest so you're more parallel to the ground. Maintain your left hand on the block. If you want to use it for revolving triangle, the right arm's going to circle up and you're going to be turning to face the stereo and the hallway to the bathroom. Now we're going to clockwork this top arm. So I want you to take the right arm back and then let it graze down alongside your right leg. Reach the right arm towards the back wall and clockwork it back up to what we would call twist. Good, take the arm back. Let it lower alongside the right leg and foot. Reach it towards the back wall and reach it back up to the heavens. Power of 3, one more time. And that's going to be our revolving twist today. So lunge the right knee, bring the right hand down, spin down to your left heel, bring the blocks with you, and then spin your right foot so the feet are now parallel with each other. We're going to go into a variation of Prasarita Padottanasana. Again, you don't necessarily have to use blocks, but I'm going to use them today for myself. You may want to turn the blocks to a lower height, because we're going to slide them out in front of us, shoulder distance apart, and bow the head in between the upper arms. So it's kind of like a really wide legged stance of a downward facing dog in a way. You got it. So even though your feet are evenly distributing your weight from the front to the back, from the inner to the outer, you are pushing back through your thighs and the seat. You are reaching forward with your hands, creating this inversion where the head is lower than the heart and the heart is lower than the hips. From this variation of Prasarita Padottanasana, we're going to bring the blocks under the shoulders.
we're gonna turn the hands to face back behind us. And you can walk the hands or slide the box through the legs. And the crown of the head is now facing into the floor. It's a whole different position. Make sure your feet are really rooting, your legs are ignited, and you're receiving all this fresh energy and blood flow to the crown. Affirming, I am awake, ready. The second chakra is all about teaching us how to be adaptable, especially to change. Are you awake and ready for more change? All right, bring the blocks with you. Set them under your shoulders. Straighten out through your arms so you're lifting your head up to be more even with your heart. Good, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna slowly spin. Take the blocks to the outer portion of the left foot, and then you can come up to stand. Your back foot is solidified to the ground. Your left foot's turned to face the front. We'll do that same sequence now. Lunge the knee, prop onto your thigh, and look down for a moment. Is the knee that's lunging moving towards the second and third toe? If it is, you're good. That's going to keep the external hip open. Drop your thigh bone so it's more parallel to the floor, and then rotate open from your belly and chest, reaching the right arm up in the air. Ardha Uttanasana. Good, now take that arm and sit it across the ear. Notice if that dipped the heart. Keep the heart spun open. Good. Inhale, draw up to stand. Straighten that left leg. Feet stay the same. Arms lift up, shoulder height. Lengthen out over the right leg. And then eventually windmill into your variation of triangle pose. Stacking your shoulders. Opening up the gate of your heart. From Trikonasana, we're going to bring that right hand down. And this is where we're going to lunge the left knee and spin off the back heel. This is where you can determine if you want blocks or not. When you're ready, straighten out your left leg. Roll that right hip towards your left heel in front. Good, then lunge the knee. And straighten it out on the inhale. Lunge it on the inhale. Good, one more. And then drape down over the straight leg. This is one variation of pyramid pose. Inhale, lift the head and the heart. And when you're ready, twist open to your left. Feel that IT band ignite. And keep your breath consistent. Now let's clockwork the arm. Left arm hangs back. It's going to lower alongside the left foot. It's going to reach out in front of you. And then you're slowly going to circle it back where you start. Good, clockwork again. Pausing at the top before you take the third. Hold and breathe. And then lunge the knee, lower the left hand. We're gonna step up to the front now. You can lose the blocks and release. We're gonna come up to stand. So inhale, fan the arms to the sides, build it all the way up. Urdhva. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, I'm gonna give you a choice today. So for our tree, this is a tree. So if your balance is really unsturdy, this may be the one you need to take. You can also slide it to the calf. You can also bring it to the upper thigh, but you also have an option to catch the left foot and to stack it in half lotus with your right arm bound, or in half lotus, or not half namaste, hard. So pick one of those where you're grounding on the left foot, opening from the right hip, and take one of these positions. Whenever you need to step out, and now exit out. Turning away from my wall, that messes me up. When you're ready, landing line through the right leg. Turn open from the left hip and just kind of test the side. You need the foot to stay down. Do you want it to slide up? Or do you want to attempt your half lotus? Yogi's choice. Use that layer of discernment to choose wisely. Ready? Release. Okay. We're going to change up our balancing positions today. Stack and stand on the left side. Can't look that way. Pick up your right foot. Catch it with your right hand. And then if you're holding the outside of the foot, swivel the hand around to hold the big toe side. Notice how it opens your shoulder. Elevate your left arm. You can stay here as you are. But if you want to move towards dancing Shiva, hinge forward, push the foot into the hand, and shine the heart out. Ready to exit. Come back up and release. Pause and ground. Catch your left foot. Swivel the hand to the big toe side. Let your right arm reach up. You can be here. Or dancing Shiva. Inhaling up. Exhale, release. One side may be better than the other, don't worry about that. All right, we're coming back into the flow, we're gonna get down on the floor. Hands to prayer. Inhale, let your arms sweep up, and let your exhale take you down. Inhale, lift and lengthen out. Exhale, step it back to plank. Drop to the knees. Come out, sit with legs in front. Dandasana. So you're pushing down through the thigh bones. That defines the quads. Reaching to the back of the legs and pushing out for your heels. Lifting and spreading the toes. Sail the arms up. This is an active Dandasana, but we're gonna fold into Paschimottanasana. So again, it's okay if your hands need to be alongside the legs. Don't feel like you have to catch the feet. We are trying to fly the heart out over the knees. The gaze is traditionally set towards the feet, but if that's not good for your neck, you can always cast your gaze down. Inhale, draw up. Hands slide back behind your seat. Feet slide in towards yourself. Press through the hands and the feet to lift into altar or reverse tabletop. Two more breaths. Slowly sit back down. Keep your right knee bent, but straighten out your left leg. All right, this is where we're changing up that Ashtanga format. So it's not going to be precise every week. You're going to lift up the right foot, catch that with your right hand. Take your left hand around to the front of the foot. And then see if you can land it in half lotus. That's just anatomically better. If we grab the shin, it keeps the knee up. If we grab the underside of the foot, it lowers the knee down. It's a little safer. If you can't stay here, if it's awkward, if it hurts, then you're just going to be here, like Janu Shirshasana, no problem. If this feels okay, your right arm is going to circle around behind your back, and this is where you might be able to catch the foot. If you can't, don't worry about it. The hand can stay at your waist or your sacrum, okay? Then turn back to face me. Lift your left arm up. And as you exhale, you hinge down. So the right arm stays bound as you fold. Now, personally, I like the head to hang here because it stretches out this muscle, this thread that travels from the neck and the throat to the top of the shoulder. But you can always look out beyond the toes at the Padayorgan Drishti as well. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, left hand crosses over to the right knee. The right arm is going to lift overhead. Stay in that twist. And then you're going to create a side bend and a forward fold again by draping over the straight leg that's out in front. Very similar to Pavrita Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then exhale and line from that. Lifting the right knee, straightening out the right side, and bending the left knee. Right. So we're gonna try our hand at this again. Pick up the heel, take the hand to the underside of the foot, to the top of the foot. So that way you're not holding your shin. Hold your shin, the knee lifts. We want the knee to drop. And then bring the foot to rest at the hip crease. Ideally, the heel is in line with the belly button. And the sole of the foot is kind of turned up to face you. Yes, take Janu Shirshasana if that doesn't go right to the hip, knee, or ankle. Regardless of where the foot is, you are twisting and binding the left arm. And it's okay if the hand can't quite reach the foot. Turn back to face me, lift the right arm overhead. Exhale, forward fold. And then you can determine here, do I want to hang my head and stretch the neck? Or do I want to be more traditional and look out towards the toes? Halfway up. Exhale, right hand to bent knee. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, curve over the straight leg. Inhale, build up to sit. And then exhale, unwind from the twist. Good. Relieve the left side. All right, I'm gonna give you a choice for this one. This does show up in Ashtanga. If you enjoy the lotus, and if you can take the right foot to the upper left thigh, if you can place the left foot over your right thigh, you can do the full lotus here. If you don't want to worry about the full lotus, or maybe you get into full lotus and your feet start to slip, maybe you're wearing slip clothing, you can always flex the ankles to keep yourself locked more in this place versus them sliding out with the toes pointed. Okay, I'm choosing not to do lotus for this one today. I just wanted to give you the option because in Ashtanga they do it for lotus. We're going to be rocking and rolling, contracting a certain part of our abdominals to get us to move around the mat. So it's playful and it's fun and it looks like this. So I'm contracting one side in order to roll all the way around. And then when you get to the front, you contract the other side. It's fun. And I'm not going all the way back to my neck. If you do, it's okay. But because we're kind of leaning to one side, we're really trying to use the abdominals more, and we're trying to avoid the head and the feet. So we're just rocking and rolling all the way around. You want to try it? Okay, hands up underneath the knees. Contract the left side of your abs. Slightly leaning toward the left hip. And then when you face the front, contract the other side and lean a little bit more to the right. Good massage for the back too. It's a little hard for lotus, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's hard for lotus, which is why I'm like, yeah, I'm skipping that today. All right, so sometimes we do just rock and roll forward and back. So now you know how to do it in circle. Have the feet set in front of you. Your hands are gonna clip up underneath your knees. And you're gonna fly your feet up and flex them to the ankles. Your shoulders are gonna roll back, and then your chest is gonna pick up. Maybe see if you can release your hands. Navasana. Breathe. Crisscross, hands down, contract your core and hip flexors. See if you can lift. So what you'll need to do, instead of leaning back, you lean forward so the shoulders come over the hands, and I'll cup my hands to lift. Yep, like that. Yep, that's the trick. And then bring the feet back. Hands up underneath the knees. This time, see if you can straighten your legs. If not, do the other version, knees bent. Maybe you need the hand hold. Maybe you want to release the hands all together. Crisscross. Hands down, lean forward, thumb up. Okay, now separate your feet. Make sure there's clearance in the back of your mat, because we're gonna do this. I'll demo really quick. So you're gonna be balancing. If you can't straighten your legs, your knees are gonna be bent. But we're gonna try to do Upavista Konasana, the sitting variation of wide angle. We'll hold for 5 reps. We'll roll to this variation, hold for 5 reps. And then we're gonna try to catch ourselves here. Hold for 5 reps. Before we release down for 5 reps, okay? Let's give it a go. You're balancing on the sit bones. Peace mudra around each big toe. Float the feet. Balance on your seats. And then attempt to straighten out the legs. Good. 5 breaths. Roll back for 5. The feet may or may not touch the floor, it's okay. If your feet don't touch the floor and you're rolling out, just remove your hands from your toes and bring your hands to your back to hold you in place. And after your 5 breaths, rock and roll forward. See if you can catch yourself in that balancing pose. Holding for 5. And some people do like to slam it forward. I let go and let it have a soft landing. And then fold. Your hands can be at your thigh bones, your shin bones, your toes. They can release down the middle. Konasana. Affirming mentally within. I am awake and ready. I'm awake and ready for any obstacles to be seen as opportunities for further growth. I am awake and ready to receive the next insight towards my passionate pursuits. I am awake and ready to receive the realizations I need to fulfill my purpose. And of course, you can fill it in the blank with whatever you desire. I am awake and ready for, and you can fill that in. Slowly back. Once you back away, slide the legs together. Pick up your hands, open your palms, scoop the belly in, And you're gonna roll it on back. One vertebra at a time. And then let your right leg fly up. Now you can catch the leg by holding the back of your thigh. You can slide your hands to hold the calf. Or you can lace that peace mudra perhaps around the big toe. For Padangusthasana A. Now, what are you doing with the left leg? Can you drop down the thigh? Can you push out through the left heel? Now hold down your left hip, take it to Padangusthasana B, where the leg bands open to the right. And then inhale, leg up. Exhale, release the hold and lower the foot to the floor. Inhale, sail the left leg up next. You can catch the thigh, you can slide it to the calf, you can find the big toe. But then activate the right leg, push down through the right thigh bone, push out through the right heel. And then fan the left leg to the left side. Padangusthasana B. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, hug the knees in. Apanasana. Roll to your right side. Go ahead and slowly come up. I'm getting this in today for you, Cindy. Last week we skipped our headstand, and we won't be doing headstand every Wednesday because we'll be changing up the inversions. So we are going to practice our Shirshasana 1. If you want the wall, just scoot your mat to the back wall or the closest wall beside you or in front of you. If you want to do it freestyle, of course, you don't have to move your mat at all. If you're not feeling headstand today, because I know that new move we just had was something fierce, and a lot of people are telling me they still don't have their energy back. The energy is lower during the new moon. So if you're not feeling it, do legs at the wall. Be easy, be kind to yourself. If you're wanting to do Shirshasana 1, I want you to set up your forearms in Sphinx. And I'm going to pretend that the edge of my mat is the border of the wall. So you'd want the longest finger to touch that border. And then you want to ensure that your hand will fully wrap around your outer arms, close to the elbows. That's the case. My rings normally don't bother me, but sometimes rings are bothersome. You can shed the rings. Place the crown down and work on your little mini push-ups. If you want to make sure you have the strength for it. You know you've got the strength. You can tuck your toes. And you can curl up and then straighten your legs. You can lift one leg and let the other follow. Or you can try mustering up strength from your core to pike the legs together and overhead. Of course, at the wall is there to catch you. Promote alignment. Or just be of support. If you need to lean into it. So determine what you want to do. Do you want to set up on forearms? You want to try your hand at the headstand? Or would you rather lounge in and like hit the wall and just take it easy? Yeah. No pressure. I don't put pressure on you, and please don't put pressure on yourself. Monday, we were talking about how the ego can sometimes override the soul. And in yoga, we want to connect to the higher self, that soulful part, so that we're not forcing anything to happen. And then just bend the knees and crawl your toes, or crawl the toes. And then keep crawling. Yep, that's it. See what this does? This starts to align. Let's start to the wall. First step there, so just move you over if you're straight. Good. So you're just pushing down the knee, drawing it through the core, pointing the toes up. Just bring one leg down at a time, since that's the way you entered. Beautiful. Good job. Nice. All right, if you haven't already taken child's pose, you can do that. If you are in legs at the wall, just stay there for your relaxation. If you want to move into it for relaxation or come out of it for relaxation, that's of course your choice. I'm going to change out the music. So I'll tell you guys, right after the spring equinox, I went to this women's circle. It was a women's gathering for sound meditation, for doing and performing a ritual to release what may have been weighing us down through the winter. But also being contemplative about what we wanted to fulfill this year. And at some point during that gathering, we were going to do a shamanic journey. And in that shamanic journey, there's guidance, visuals. And then you're left with drumming for the vision to continue to receive a message. So when the drum was playing and the vision was continuing, I was getting a little frustrated because I wasn't getting a clear view. And I was asking a question and wasn't receiving a clear answer. In fact, the message I got was wait. Wait. being told to wait wasn't what I wanted to hear. Because I'm an Aries. I'm ready to blaze ahead. So in that moment of frustration, and I was like, really, wait? Then I got this vision of Paramahansa Yogananda. And he was smiling. And then she was bringing us out of the vision quest. And I wasn't ready to come out of the vision quest because he had just appeared. And the message came together. Wait, but be awake and ready. So continue to drop in, continue to reconnect to your higher self. And I want you to just be in that question. What are you awake and ready for? Maybe your answer will be immediate. Maybe you will be told to wait. Maybe you'll know exactly what it is. For now, just observe your breath, being in the question. What am I awake and ready for? Feet are up the wall, slide them down the wall. If you're in the corpse pose, feel free to draw the knees in.
Let's lower down to our favorite side. Build ourselves up to a seat. Feel free to sit with back support against the wall if you prefer. Wait. Red. Joining your hands together to prayer position at your heart. And I want you to fill in the blank. I am awake and ready for. And say whatever you're filling it in with 3 times over in your mind. Now that you've planted the seed, continue to nourish it with your breath and your mindfulness. Any actions that you take. Bring it to be more manifest in your life. Drawing your thumbs up to the third eye. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Namaste.